Good morning, Priyanta. Is Sir there?
He's at the bank, madam.
Sampath Online Banking. Convenient, easy, saves time. Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Now bringing you news here at home, around the world and on the sports field. This is your lunchtime news on MTV Sports. I'm Katharina Chang. Before we get into our stories, your headlines for this afternoon is Ministry of Public Administration and Local Government takes firm stance on the misuse of state property. Preferential numbers of candidates for 10 districts released. Number of the remaining districts to be released today. Number of complaints received over the distribution of goods during the period ahead of the polls. The OIC and 2 other police officers of the Kalavana police station interdicted for failing to control an act of violence related to elections. And Bangladesh registered a historic ODI series win over South Africa. Now on to our stories in detail. The election secretariat says that preferential numbers of candidates in 10 districts have been released. Additional Election Commissioner M. Mohammed noted that the preferential numbers of the remaining districts will be released today.
The Additional Elections Commissioner added that the preferential numbers have been released to the respective district returning officers. There are 6,151 candidates contesting the upcoming elections. The Election Secretariat said that 196 MPs will be selected to Parliament. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Public Administration and Local Government says that candidates contesting the upcoming elections have been advised to not utilize state property for any election propaganda activities. The Ministry's Secretary, Jinasiri Dadallage, noted that a circular has been sent to all state organizations with regard to this matter.
Election observers charged that there is a rise in reports of goods being distributed to win over votes in line with the upcoming general election. Executive Director of Campaign for Free and Fair Elections, or CAFE, Kirti Tendakut, said that reports of such activities are being received from around the island.
There were a number of complaints received by CAFE that distributing of dry rationals and the other materials has been happening throughout the country. And this is a violation of election laws which comes under the section of bribery. And we have made this complaint to the Election Commissioner, and we have seen a very rapid action by the Election Commissioner's department in parallel to the police department. And in Polonnaruwa, there was a police raid takeout, and all the dry rationals and the other materials were taken away from the premises. And more important, that the liquor has been distributed in Putlam district, Badullar and Nuwara, which is once again a violation, and moreover that will definitely harm the cause of election, and it's a violation of the drug policy of the country, and it's a violation of the very basic norms and practices when it comes to the elections and public representation. So we urged whatever the people who is getting these sort of complaints to report it to the Election Commissioner's department and to the election monitors, so we can act on these complaints and make sure that these sort of election violence will not take place during the election campaigning period.
Meanwhile, National Organizer of National Election Monitoring Centre, Attorney at Law Rasanga Harishchandra, says that measures will be taken to notify the Election Commissioner with regard to candidates distributing goods in a bid to gain support from the public during the election.
The National Election Monitoring Centre has received a number of complaints on the distribution of goods during this time period ahead of the polls. These reports are from several districts from the country. In Colombo, a minister had led the distribution of gas cylinders. The chairman of a state institution is also involved in this. We have also come across reports of distribution of goods in other districts, and we hope to inform the Elections Commissioner in this regard in the coming days.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of People's Action for Free and Fair Election, or PAFRIL, Rohan Hettiarachchi, said that continuous reports are being received of goods being distributed in the Chilau, Kandy and Matal areas.
With regard to the upcoming parliamentary elections, we have reported even these elections that the candidates are bribing the voters, and we have reported a couple of areas that they are giving various kind of goods, especially in Silao, that they are giving mosquito nets, bulbs, and also the alcohol. Not only Silao, that we have reported in Kandy district, and again Matale, Nuwara, Trincomalee, Vaunia. Various other places also reported and bribing the people from the both sides. So we wish to request the political party as well as the candidate that we need to change this political culture during the elections. So we wish to request all the parties to consider the existing elections law and also change the existing political culture.
The OIC and 2 other police officers of the Kalawana police station have been interdicted. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruwan Gunasekara said that on the 14th of this month, a clash had erupted between 2 groups of political party supporters who were putting up posters for the upcoming elections. Thereafter, both the factions were summoned to the Kalawana police station to settle the issue, during which the 2 factions had behaved in a disorderly manner. The police media spokesperson added that the police officers were interdicted due to their failure to control the situation. Now, with elections to kick off in a little over a month, various views expressed on the political stage. Here are some of the views expressed by candidates contesting the general election.
It does not matter who you elect to parliament as long as they are people with a strong backbone. Mahinda's faction could break away into 2. So I would like to remind you that it is your responsibility to not allow this to happen. Please do not be fooled. The tigers will always be traitors. Wolves will always be wolves. Rajapaksa is the pioneer of bribery, commissions and corruption. It is the thugs and murderers in the SLFP who are addicted to this system who want to bring Mahinda back to power. Because even if good governance comes to parliament, there will be no good governance from within. If there is good governance, an MP will get 90,000 rupees, which means they will not have money to furnish their mansions, their vehicles and luxurious lives. Inspect the bank accounts of the Rajapaksas from 15 years ago and see if you can find a savings account with 100,000 rupees. But now look at the houses they live in and the vehicles they travel in. We make these allegations to other MPs as well. Do not allow anyone who have swindled money through politics to be re-elected. The thieves banded together when they noticed that Mahinda was going to make a comeback. But what did Ranil Wickremesinghe do when this happened? He did not uproot it. He only nurtured it more. On the 17th of August, this bud must be cut off. But to do that, you need the power and the brains. We call thieves thieves. We will have to pay the price for corruption which took place at the CBSL for the next 15 years. What we are trying to achieve in this election is like baking an icing cake. If you bake just an ordinary butter cake, you wouldn't get the positions of opposition leader and prime minister. There were numerous incidents in the past where rumors and stories were spread because of the wrong choice made by voters. It was the voters who have always been pressurized. That is why this system must be changed.
Responding to an inquiry made by News First today, Deputy Minister of Policy Planning and Economic Affairs, Dr. Harsha De Silva, said that world fuel prices will reduce as a result of the nuclear agreement reached between Iran and Western countries. The Deputy Minister added that a reduction in fuel prices could be expected in Sri Lanka within the first quarter of next year.
It's in fact a significant achievement. US +5 and Iran. Finally, Rouhani has come to. Now it is up to the US Congress essentially to pass the amendment, and then hopefully within 60 days the deal can begin to be implemented. So the world is expecting in about 9 days for Iran to start that is now in storage. Currently, large floating storage stocks are held, which can immediately be released. But practically, what is being said is it will take till about the first quarter of next year. With that, there may be most likely increases in the production of oil by others to maintain their market share, which will again push prices down. So the expectation is, particularly at the pump globally, we might see a third drop, or 30% plus drop in price of fuel.
Staying with election news, UNF Colombo district candidate S.M. Marika participated in a rally held in Orugoduwatta.
Just think about whether what you did should be followed by your children, because exercising your franchise is not about voting an individual or making one party clinch victory. Can you give the future of your children to the hands of the corrupted, rapists and thieves? I will accept the responsibility of shaping Kolonnawa after formulating a 5-year plan following the formation of a new government on the 18th of next month.
S.M. Marika thereafter participated in a party gathering in Nawagampura.
And on that note, we wrap up this edition of Lunchtime News. But you can always remember to log in on our trilingual Twitter handle at newsfirst_en and like us on facebook.com/newsfirstenglish to get the latest updates with just a click of a button. I'm Katharina Chang for News First.